Most people use red wrong when drawing peaches, and that's exactly why their colors look dull or muddy. If your peaches don't feel bright and fresh, this might be the reason. Hi, my name is Olena. I'm an artist and educator. And let's talk about how to get clean glowing peach colors with alcohol markers. A very common mistake is starting with red too early. Red is a strong color. It quickly takes over the drawing. And once it's there, it's hard to keep the light. The result looks heavy, flat, and a bit dirty instead of soft and glowing. So, instead of starting with red, I build the color in layers. First, I use light orange as a base, then I gently add warm red on top. I can even layer deeper reds for the shadows. This simple change with orange base layer makes a huge difference. Now let's take a closer look to this technique. My peach is brightly lit by direct sunlight, that's why I'm starting with light yellow and then moving on to the light orange. I apply base layer softly and evenly, covering the main area of the peach. I'm not pressing too hard, and I'm not trying to get the final color yet. At this stage, I'm just creating a warm glowing foundation. I also make sure to have the lightest area almost untouched or planning to make it with the white colored pencil. This will help keep that fresh luminous look later. After that light yellow layer is done, I am moving on to the light and mid-tone oranges and blending the transitions with the previous color for the softer look. Going back to the light yellow to make softer transition. Moving on to the mid-tone orange, and this is the final color for my base layer. Making softer transition with light orange. Now that the base layer is done, let's follow the step 2, adding red. Now I start adding light warm red. But I don't apply it everywhere. I focus on the areas closer to the shadow, the richer parts of the surface, and the places where the color naturally becomes deeper. Now I softly blend it into the orange. I'm letting the colors mix visually instead of covering one with another. Even going back to my light yellow to make softer transitions. Next, I'm moving on to my mid-tone red and layer it over the light red. I'm focusing on mid-tones and deep areas. Softening the blend with the previous light red. Now I'm adding the deepest red for the shadowed areas. At this stage, it is important not to overwork the surface. If you keep layering too much, the color can lose its freshness. So I use light strokes and stop before it becomes too heavy. Going back to the mid-tone red and make softer blending. If needed, you can go back to the orange or light red to soften the transition and keep it smooth. Now I'm adding my highlights and textures with the white colored pencil. This gives contrast, bright and appetizing look to your peach. So the key idea is simple. Orange creates light and warmth. Red adds depth and richness. But red should support the color, not replace it. And very importantly, I always keep some areas clean and light. That's what makes the peach look juicy and glowing. If you want to see the full real-time process with all the colors I used and step-by-step guidance, you can find the full tutorial on my Patreon page. The link is in the description box. You can see how the color stays bright, soft and natural. It doesn't look muddy or overworked, and the transition feels smooth and realistic. I really hope you enjoyed this coloring tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now!